welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever, brought to you by the Sideshow Network. This is the show where we tell you about our terrible comic book collection. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
And today we have two selections for you, and these are hot off the presses?
No.
Hot out of the boxes?
Yeah, actually, yeah. It'd
How
be the
would you
latter.
describe this?
Hot out of the
sale?
the California sun over at Jeffrey's Comics in Gardena.
50-cent comic sale.
50-cent comic sale, which was,
Outside the
they announced
parking
it this week, and we were like, well,
Yeah.
we're a bunch of jerks, so we're going to go to this thing.
Well, yeah, it's like they're tailor-made for us.
It literally is.
Yeah.
50-cent comics.
I got some good stuff.
Oh, I practically just about finished my Quasar collection, which I'm very proud of, and I'm close to filling a few more holes, but found a few Wonder Mans. I found a Dazzler I've been looking for.
Well, you know, there was a box there that I felt was like tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
It was full of like Quasar, Wonder Man, there was some Death's Head in there, and I was like, this is Shawn's box.
Yeah, it had a lot of stuff. It was a very Marvel-centric purchase of books, but I did, pick up a few DC ones. I'm decided to go forward and start buying Guy Gardner books. So I'm in the
like
process.
Guy
Gardner Warrior.
Okay,
So like the series he had from the 90s.
Yes.
I'm looking for that.
I saw some of those there today too.
I found one. I didn't look in all the boxes because it was kind of like.
Well, there's a lot of boxes.
Well, that's the thing, because there's a lot of boxes, and it's like I don't need to look at that many boxes, and I'll just be walking around with a giant box of books, that I already have way too many of.
I know. We have way too much shit.
Yeah, so, I kind of had to cap it, but...
No, I think we did good. I felt that I really capped it. I was very proud of myself.
Well, if it wasn't for all the Quasars,
yeah,
I would have, probably wouldn't have bought as many.
Yeah.
But they had, at least, I don't know how many I bought, but just a lot of them, and it was like, well, they're all 50 cents.
Right.
So it'd be really silly for me to not buy them.
Right.
Well,
they did have and we didn't buy it, but they had, a grab box.
Oh, yeah.
Which had, 20 comics in it, and a pop figurine, and then a DC
Direct figure.
Direct figure, and... Was that it?
There's a few other things. There's a Funko.
Yeah, there was something else.
Like some of those smaller things with those Dorbs or whatever.
Yeah, and it was for $30, it was just in a white box. So you didn't know what it was, but it was just if you buy this, you get all this shit. Mystery shit. And I was like, oh, mystery shit.
And I'd be set with that, that's pretty good.
But I think they were all out of them.
They had literally one box left, so they're probably already sold by now because it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it was neat. I was like, oh man, but I didn't do it. I was I don't need to spend that money.
And I know Jeffries doesn't sponsor this show, but
but if you're ever in,
if you're in California, if you're in the South Bay, Los Angeles,
it's a really great
Jeffrey's
store.
Comics, which is one of it's one of the oldest, I think, comic book stores, actually oldest comic book stores in the country.
Yeah.
Because it's been around since, the late 70s.
Yes, and they bought Heidi Ho.
Which
was actually, the one of, if not the oldest, one of them.
Yeah, the Heidi Ho's, which is on Santa Monica. So they bought that. Now they've got two shops, and they're fantastic. So
yeah, it's a pretty great store.
They often are, kind of the main source for a lot of our crap.
Yeah, just because they buy, a lot of, old comic books going out of business back issues things, and so then they have these 50-cent sales, so we go pick up all this back stock that nobody's seen for 20 years.
Yeah, literally,
they're just trying to move it, and then we're like, well, who else would buy this?
Us.
Because no one.
It wasn't nearly as busy as it used to, as it has been.
It was nice,
which is kind of nice. Maybe it was early. Maybe it was busy much earlier because we got there a little bit later in the day. But
and that was kind of nice. Actually.
Yeah. So anyways, though, we were very fortunate, though, to pick up two books today.
Yeah.
So first of which we're going to do is Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., number 36 from June 1992. This is weird, too, because this is a series that you don't see this one a lot. I mean, just for me, looking for books and stuff, you don't see this one around a lot, but... It was a series, an actual, he had a few series in the 90s.
Yeah.
Nick Fury did.
Yeah.
And, this was one of them. So I figured, fuck it, let's give it a shot. Because on the cover, it's Nick Fury and guest starring Cage,
yes.
Luke Cage.
Yes.
But this is Cage when he wore his hat as a belt. And
wait, what?
So remember how, like, so if you've seen Luke, remember the Power Man Iron Fist we did?
Yeah.
And, like, Luke Cage has got, like, that metal headband.
Yes.
Well, now that he wears it around as his belt. It's not the same thing, but it looks like the same thing.
Oh.
Like that, the shiny, like, whatever it is.
Yeah, and he kind of wears what looks like shiny Uggs boots.
Yeah, and he's got, like, Uggs boots, and he's got, like, he's got this weird, like...
He looks like he's a ski instructor.
Yeah. I mean,
he really does. And it's kind of strange because he's supposed to, in this issue, they're, like, I don't know, somewhere tropical. Like,
they're
on
like,
a beach somewhere.
They're in Mexico for...
Yeah, like, Mexico, maybe, and, like, he's sitting by a beach, and then later he's just, like, ski instructoring it all over the fucking hotel. It's a little weird. Yeah,
so he's out there, he's on the cover with, it's Cage and Nick Fury, and they're facing us, and they're about to...
Constrictor!
Mix it up with to combat the Constrictor, who is in one of his many poses
where you
in
see
this
his
book.
Ass crack?
Well, this one, yeah, I mean, he's...
His nether region is...
it's the start of the book.
It is. It's highlighted a lot in this book, and I'm not exactly sure
and it's not,
why.
I wouldn't... Here's the thing. I wouldn't point it out if it wasn't so friggin' obvious.
Well, that's the thing. It's like every fucking panel, because there's one where it's just like crotch. We'll talk about it when we get there.
So Constrictor, yeah.
So yeah, this is back when Nick Fury was white. He was a white guy.
Yeah. It's the Nick Fury that David Hasselhoff played.
Yeah.
That's as if people know that.
I don't know that. I just said yeah. I agree with you, babe. That's what I do.
Yeah. So Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury's looks like he's cleaning out his desk,
and he's got fucking Norman Osborn hair.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He does, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. So he's it's stupid.
Yeah.
So he's cleaning out his desk. He's looking at old pictures of him back when he was in, like, Nam or whatever. He's
back with the Howling Commandos, so World War II.
Is that what this is supposed to be? How old is he supposed to be?
He's old, but he's got, like, a serum in his body that kind of, like, has retarded his aging for the past 30, 20, 25 years at this point.
Because even in the 90s, a guy who fought in World War II was old.
Yeah.
So, okay.
No, of course. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, that makes sense. But, he's been...
That's why I thought it was Vietnam. I'm like, obviously.
It was either that or, it's supposed to be World War II. It's supposed to,
WW2. Alright, so he's, like, looking at his desk, looking at his pictures, being like, man, I wish I was young again, even though I'm weirdly young.
Yeah, he's weirdly young, but he's packing up.
Right, because he's no longer the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Because apparently something happened in the previous issues where a bunch of people were killed at a graduation, and Hydra came back, and he's like, well, I suck, so I should get out. I should no longer be the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I should probably get out, like, on the field. I should be director of field.
Yeah.
And get out there and fight for S.H.I.E.L.D. instead of, like, sitting behind a desk and all the stuff. So
I'm going to hand the reins over to redheaded Haas Bonaventure.
Yeah, Dum Dum Duggan.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Dum Dum Duggan?
Yeah, that's one of his guys.
Dum Dum.
Yeah, that's his nickname. He's got a real first name, but he
I
doesn't.
was going to say, are you kidding me?
No, but it's Dum Dum Duggan, so... So Dum Dum Duggan here, and he's...
I want to call him...
Dum Dum Duggan wearing an ill-fitting suit looks a lot like Bullock in Gotham.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah, he really... just not as great.
Like, the tie doesn't go all the way down.
Yeah, it like...
it looks like,
he looks bow-legged, by the way.
Yeah.
He looks like he's wearing, like, loose-fitting slacks only around the hips, and then it turns into leggings on the legs.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Yeah, it's a fashion statement. Also, he has a very low crotch.
Yes.
It's a very long crotch.
Also, too, I don't know if you noticed this.
These are hammer pants.
Well, it was the 90s.
Yes, it was.
I don't know if you know this, but Scott LaBelle wrote this.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scott LaBelle, perfect stand-up comedian Scott LaBelle.
And this didn't
trained by Sideshow Network's own Gilbert Gottfried, who I've yet to really get the story behind that. But
so this didn't start out with narration boxing that was like, my name is Nick Fury.
Well, he's kind of narrating here. He's narrating to
but no, like every single one of his like most recent issues in the New 52 have just been like, my name is Clark Kent. Like every fucking one starts that way.
Yeah, well, yeah,
he's just like a fucking find and replace.
He hasn't gotten to that point yet. Oh. So he, this is when it was Scott Young LaBelle was writing, he was doing this.
He was doing a jeans model?
No, that was Rob Liefeld.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know Scott LaBelle. Scott LaBelle was doing stand-up with Gilbert Gottfried.
They're the same person in my head.
They might as well be.
Yeah.
I mean, all those Marvel guys in the 90s mixed together.
Yeah. It's kind of like just taking a bunch of Play-Doh and like smashing it into a ball. Like different colored Play-Doh just and then it's like all one color.
Yeah, so he's Scott LaBelle, he was doing like Alpha Flight, I think, around this time. It just went around shit, so.
Boy, still doing it, huh?
Anyway, so he's kind of like,
So weird leggings, hammer pants, man.
Hammer pants is like, hey, what the hell, just kind of. If it's like, I know you're just doing this just for the hell of it, or you're just doing this, but you're gonna be back.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm done. And as they're in there, some S.H.I.E.L.D. guy comes in and he's like, oh my god, I got this thing for the director to see, and he's like, give it to Duggan. Yeah. And Duggan's, and this geek's like, but Constrictor and Luke Cage, he's like, give me that, know? So apparently,
once Fury hears that, he yanks it out. It's basically like a tiny clipboard with like information on it, and he literally yanks it out of his hand because it says yank.
Oh, yank! I missed that.
It says yank, big letters, and then he's like, fire up the chopper! I'm going to wherever Luke Cage is, and they're like,
they're going to Mexico.
Fucking do it this time.
So basically, we go to Mexico, Cancun to be specific.
Yes.
And Luke Cage is having a party.
Yeah, man.
That you can see.
Oh yeah, you can see.
He's got. Is that a bunch of giant sandwiches? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Is that a Subway party platter?
It kind of just looks like a bunch of nuts.
Oh, maybe. Okay, I don't know.
Regardless, he is just like ripped shit and wearing nothing but Speedos and I don't know, Iron Fist's shoes.
Oh, that's right. He's wearing shoes. I had to look at that for a second. I was
tiny, weird shoes, probably because whoever drew this can't draw feet. So they gave him basically little tiny socklets that I wear inside of my flats.
That's right. Why is he wearing
little socklets?
Little socklets.
I don't know.
Is he not planning on?
It makes him look like he has hooves.
But is he not planning on going in the water? Because he is dressed to go into the water.
I don't know. Maybe whoever was like this, they're like, draw hooves.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because he has steel skin, so he doesn't have actual.
Because really, what doesn't matter if he steps on anything. He's got steel skin. Right? It's not like he's gonna step on a piece of like a shell or something and hurt his foot and be like, "Ow, shit!" No, he's probably be just fine.
Yeah.
So he's getting a call from this girl, Mia Payne, who she's like, she's like, "Oh, hey, I want."
She hired him to go find her father.
Yeah, she hired him. And basically, this woman's being investigated by the IRS because she got a shit ton of money out of nowhere. Yeah,
it just showed up in her account one day, and she doesn't know where it's coming from, but she thinks it's from her dad. But she's not sure because apparently her dad died in a boating accident when she was a kid.
Yep.
So he's lost at sea, but she thinks he's alive, so that's what Luke Cage is doing. He's trying to find this guy.
Yeah, he's there, and he's getting paid. He's supposed to get paid to do it.
So then he goes and he changes into his ski instructor gear.
There's that belt. He used to wear that on his head. Yeah. No, it's on his waist.
I'm sorry, is his waist supposed to be the same size as his skull?
Yes. Well, apparently it is. Look at it.
Okay. All right, that's cool. So he, knocks on this door where this guy answers it, and the guy automatically recognizes him. And see, this is Constrictor, but Luke Cage doesn't know that because Constrictor's not wearing his weird costume.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, come on in, friend. I'm going to go put on my trunks.
Yeah, this actually was fun. He's weird. Hey, why don't you come in? He's like, can we talk? He's like, sure. Why don't you, let me, put some trunks on?
Then we can go walk on the beach.
Go walk on the beach and we'll talk.
Okay.
Random guy.
Yeah, random dude who just knocked on my door.
Random power man.
Yeah, it's weird. So then
but it turns out to be a ruse because literally moments later, apparently he goes and puts on his constrictor costume.
Yeah.
And somehow is able to throw...
I don't know, they jump out a window.
They jump out a window.
Now, I'm confused about Constrictor.
Okay.
So he has these, like, adamantium tentacles.
Yeah, he's got tendrils.
Are they in his suit?
Yeah, they're like in his suit.
So they're not, like, part of his body. They don't
think so,
come out of his arm or something.
No, because, like, it's a suit. Because the suit's, got, like, Kevlar and shit. And
he controls it with his mind or whatever, right?
I guess. I think so. Probably. It's probably some sort of psychic thing he does.
So they start fighting.
Yeah, so they start fighting and they fall on the beach. They
steal a bro's keg.
Yeah, and literally what happens is so he throws a keg. Constrictor throws a keg at Luke, and the dude's like, "Dude, our brew!"
Yeah, and of course Luke Cage is like, "I have steel skin," because he has to bring it up like literally every time he fights somebody.
Literally, it's everything.
He's just steel skin. So, I don't know, they're fighting, and then all of a sudden Nick Fury shows up.
Yeah, Nick Fury shows up to pull the keg off his head. I wonder how long it took. Because at this point...
Yeah, he literally has a keg on his head.
Like, Constrictor found a way to get from wherever he was to...
The ocean.
Yeah. And Nick just happens to find him at the right spot.
Yeah. And he helps Cage get the keg off his head, and then Constrictor happens to, hitch a ride on a speedboat and water ski away.
Yeah, whose speedboat is this? Somebody knows?
No, it's just some person's speedboat.
And also, how is he able to swim so well in that suit?
I don't know.
I don't think that suit would be meant for swimming.
Maybe you could use those tentacle things as a propeller.
Maybe he's probably got some sort of mastery over it.
Right, but he also is able to ski on just his feet. So he skis away, and Luke Cage is like, "I'm gonna go get him," and Fury's like, "Nah, it's cool. Just let him go." We'll catch him another time. No big deal. And Luke Cage is like, what the fuck, man? He's been on the S.H.I.E.L.D's 10 Most Wanted for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Yeah, because basically, he's like, you're supposed to, he wants to pick him up because that's actually also, that's his job.
Right.
It's Luke's job. Luke's like, I'm not a ski instructor.
Yeah. I can't teach this guy how to water ski, even though I'm dressed like I'm teaching people how to snow ski.
It's like maybe he thought, maybe I could just teach him. Maybe
he got confused about what kind of skiing
what kind of ski instructor
involved. So that's why he's dressed like he should be on the slopes of Aspen or something.
Aspen Extreme, Luke
everybody,
Cage.
Let's go to Copper Mountain.
How many diamonds do you think Luke Cage ski slopes?
Probably a double black diamond.
You think he's a double?
That's the most intense.
That's literally straight down the side of a mountain. That's 90 degrees.
Pretty much. I was always...
and as he does, he goes, I got bulletproof skin. Slide.
Yeah, I was always really good at bunny hills.
You've actually skied?
Yeah. I grew up in Colorado.
Yeah, but...
I've only skied a few times because I am so uncoordinated. But yes, I have been skiing.
I'd imagine...
I even tried to go snowboarding once, and that was a disaster.
I would imagine, yes.
I could not stand up for the life of me, and I have a really bad habit of locking my knees. You're not supposed to do that when you're snowboarding, and I tried to get off the lift, and I fell flat on my ass, and they actually had to stop the lift, and I had to soldier crawl out from underneath the ski chair thing. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
And that's okay, because then I just said,
How old were you?
Oh my god, I had to be 22.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it wasn't a thing. Well, I knew you when you were 28.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't. You weren't skiing.
Snowboarding.
When
no, and I did go skiing when I was younger, but I was I think the first time I tried skiing, I was 13.
See, I've never done.
And of course, my sister, the natural athlete in the family,
she's probably freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, she's naturally good at it, and so she would just laugh at me when I just laid at the bottom of the. Okay, here's the story about me skiing. The first time I ever went skiing, I didn't even make it up the side. I didn't even make it onto the ski lift because I fell down standing in line to get onto the lift. I was just standing there and I fell down and I landed on my wrist and I sprained it, like kind of sprained it, tweaked it, whatever, so badly that I just went and sat inside for the rest of the day. That was the first time I went skiing.
You should have just did that in the first place.
But that's the
just
first
sat
thing.
Inside. I
wanted to do it. And so then the second time I went skiing, I was good at the bunny hill, but I almost ran over small children. And then the third time I ever did it, I went snowboarding, and that was a disaster. So I never went again. Yep, that's a great story. My sister, of course, naturally good. Didn't even
See, I just don't even try those things.
Yeah, well, I did try it. I was terrible.
I don't even try those things because I know I'm automatically going to ruin everything.
Well, that's why we're so good for each other. We can just sit inside together.
That's why I do
away from the outside where things are bad.
That's why I do things like podcasting and like sitting in chairs and sitting at bars and watching comedy and
sometimes
podcasts.
You're not even good at that though.
Yeah, I'm not very good at sitting. I'm not very good. I'm not really good. I'm barely optimal. I can barely function as a human. I think in reality it's going to be revealed. Like I feel like at some point it's just going to be revealed that I'm just like a pile of like lemmings in my body, and yet my mind is like the only like I'm just like an overall consciousness. And
that's going to be kind of a bad news for me.
Well,
I mean, like lemming body is like to find out that I've been married to a sack of lemmings for the
a skin sack of lemmings
for the past several years would be kind of a blow.
Can I get this annulled?
Your Honor, I was not aware that my husband was a skin sack full of lemmings when I married him.
Why wasn't this confirmed ahead of time?
You think it's something I would notice, but I didn't.
He just keeps trying to jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
Those lemmings. Anyway,
what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, so he thought it was the wrong type of skiing. That's why he's dressed like that.
I have no fucking idea.
So like him.
Okay, so basically,
so Nick Fury's like, all right, let's go talk.
Like they go talk. They go to like a cantina.
Yep.
Because fuck it, we're here. And then they're sitting there, and he basically gets the origin of Constrictor, who basically was his name was Frank Payne.
Mm-hmm.
He took a very grim picture with his daughter.
Yeah, he's not even smiling.
Nobody's happy about anything here. Basically,
his last name is Payne.
Yeah, Payne.
Yeah.
So he was a S.H.I.E.L.D. operative at one point, but he was undercover.
S.H.I.E.L.D. operative 0, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. Agent 0.
Oh boy.
So the first one. I don't know why they didn't just make him number 1, but whatever.
So he was he was undercover in like the Chicago underworld as like a thug.
Right.
And something came up where he basically had to do like
he had to kill some kids. He had to kill some other people. He shot his way out.
Yeah.
And it was bad. And he felt really bad about it because he just murdered a shit ton of people to try to maintain his cover.
Yeah, he didn't like it. And then basically, Nick Fury, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like...
And Nick Fury's like, I'm wearing my eye patch and I look cool.
Yeah, he's looking cool as fuck.
He looks really fucking cool in this drawing. It's all like sepia toned.
And he's pointing at him while this guy's sitting on the tree. He's like, I ordered him back in the field.
Yeah, he's like, I did what I would have done back in WW2.
Yeah, see, WW2, I told you.
Yeah. And I ordered him back into the field, told him basically not to be a pussy, suck it up.
Stop being a vagina, get in the field.
So he went out into the field. Well, that didn't work very well because the next thing you know, all of a sudden, Constrictor's crotch just attacked Nick Fury in the face.
The most intense abductors.
Yeah, he crotched him.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's literally.
I mean, like he's flying into this pale crotch first.
He's literally attacking Fury with his dick.
He is. He is drawn coming into this panel crotch first. It is just all dick and like splayed legs and just it's intense.
Yeah, it's hardcore. So basically he's like, well, I had to go. I knew that since I knew that was the case. I had to go.
He's like, since this guy attacked me with his dick,
So
I knew he wasn't coming back.
He wasn't coming back, so I went to his wife and I said, "Your husband almost killed me with his dick." So he died.
He was doing helicopter dick.
He's doing helicopter dick.
He whacked me in the face a couple times.
So
he's gone now. I mean, he died at sea.
He died at sea. He was on a boat doing helicopter dick and he fell off.
Because Constrictor is the woman who hired Luke Cage. That's her dad.
Yeah.
So this all comes back together.
And basically, it's like, oh shit, this is a problem. Well, I gotta do.
Luke Cage is like, I have a butt chin.
Yeah. So basically, Luke Cage is like, look, I gotta get my payday, and you gotta get your guy, so we gotta figure something out.
Yeah, let's work together.
I
don't understand what happened here, because, I mean, I do, but at the same time, I'm like... Ugh.
First of all, it's dumb. It's dumb as fuck, because what basically happens is there's this guy, Mr. Allen, who is sitting on a Mayan ruins temple. Yes. Which... Like, just sitting there like he's... Like at night. Like he's waiting for, like, a bus. Yeah. It's just weird. Like, he's like...
And he's wearing one of those, like,
he's just like Pitfall Harry.
Yeah, he's got, like, a Pitfall helmet, and, like, he's wearing, like, obviously safari-like clothing, but he's just, like, sitting at a Mayan temple at night, just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out. And then, apparently, he had some sort of this person had some sort of connection with the Constrictor. Yep. So Constrictor shows up, and he's like...
You want to see my dick?
Yeah, basically. He's like, hey, you want to see my dick? And he's like, what's your deal, man? And then Nick Fury's like, starts ripping off his face.
Right, because it's Nick Fury in disguise.
With his star gloves.
Yes, I saw
that. I never knew that was a thing, and then now I can't unsee it, because it's also on the cover here, too.
It's all over the place. I didn't realize
he has fingerless gloves.
That have stars on them.
That have stars on each of the knuckles. Like white stars on each of the knuckles. Yeah,
he's like, fuck you, Captain America. You're not the only one who gets stars.
It is the most patriotic glove I've ever seen.
It really is a very patriotic glove. So, like, he rips off all his clothes.
Yeah,
He rips off his face, and then he's like, it's me.
Wait, so does he, like explode his clothes off?
Pretty much.
Because he touches his...
He shits out of them.
He cyber shits his clothes off. So, well, I don't know, did we talk about this?
We can just talk about, like, we have a theory that it might be possible to shit your underwear off your body.
Yeah. It came up in our world.
It's a very long story how that came up. But Shawn has a theory that it is possible for one to shit their underwear off the body.
You shit with such force that your underwear will just
comes right off.
Will be forced to leave your body.
I'm not sure if that actually happens, but if anyone has experienced that, you could tweet at Shawn and let him know.
Yeah, Angry Girl Shawn, SHAWN. Or you can email me, Shawn@SideshowNetwork.tv.
Shawn, I shat my own underwear off.
Just put that in the subject line.
Shat underwear?
I shat my underwear off. You can do it, and then you can. I'll even if you don't have any proof, I'll believe you.
You know, this sounds like something that would end up being on the wrestling sleaze list.
Story about actually
shitting their own underwear.
To be honest, it's actually similar. It reminds me of one of my favorite stories on the list about how Tim Horner, who was a very boring wrestler in like the NWA and stuff like that. So apparently the story goes is that he went to a store and he bought some burritos.
Oh God.
And some frozen burritos, and the girl that was cashing them out was like, hey, these are really good. And so Tim Horner went home and ate the burritos and was farting a lot in bed. And he goes, it would be great if I think that girl who was really into me, maybe she's into like Dutch ovens and stuff.
Oh, no.
And that's why she likes those burritos so much. So he goes and gets her digits, and it turns out the girl, he goes on a date with her, and the girl ties him up and like tried to do something with him, but then he ran out of the house.
I thought that was going to involve shitting.
I thought so too, but it never is mentioned. The shitting I think is implied.
Like what exactly? Like what? Why would you not think this girl just really likes the way these taste?
Oh no!
Why would you jump to that girl likes Dutch ovens? Like what kind of fucked up? Like I'm really fucked up, and even I can't jump to that conclusion.
Well, that'd be like it's just like sitting in bed. You're just like, this.
Did he have like one of those jump to conclusions mats? like an office space, and it just says Dutch ovens on it, and that's the one he jumped to?
I think it has to be. Tim Horner, boring as fuck in the ring, but his personal life is unparalleled. Anyway, so
Nick Fury with his gloves.
So Nick Fury is fighting, and they're fighting, and like Nick Fury. It's funny because apparently I don't know how the fuck they're just hanging out in his ruins.
Yeah,
because like
and nobody seems to mind.
No, the Mayans they're dead. Nobody cares. No, they don't care.
There's no guards to
There's
be
no
like,
guards.
This is a very valuable historical site.
And so Nick Fury's just sitting on the step, and then Cage shows up and like jumps Constrictor from behind,
and then we get another crotch first panel.
Oh yeah. There's another one there, and he's like, he jumps him from behind but he's coming from behind like from the.
Ruins?
It looks like he's coming from the ruins, like he's just sitting there.
And then they start taking down like fucking parts of the ruins.
Yeah, like just pieces falling off.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And he's beat. They start throwing like Constrictor's like tying his tendrils around like
right, and then all of a sudden
statues.
Here's another thing I didn't understand, because when they first fought, Luke Cage was like, "I have steel skin, haha," as Luke Cage does. And he didn't seem to be worried about those tendrils.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, oh, those adamantium tendrils will definitely cut through my steel skin. I was like, since when?
It's like, since when, dude? I mean,
because you weren't worried about that when you fought with him earlier.
Yeah, it's inconsistent because he's not thinking. He's thinking about because the adamantium would totally wreck him up.
Sure.
But why wasn't that a thing?
Why would he even say like, you can't hurt me because I have steel skin in fight number 1?
Or did he not know that was adamantium? I would think he would, but maybe he found out.
I thought he mentioned
maybe after he had a margarita with Fury.
No, but I swear he mentioned they were adamantium during the first fight.
He did?
Thought so.
I don't think he did.
I think he did.
He just mentions basically.
No, he mentions
he's on the beach.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, wait, he does.
Yes!
It's been a long time since we mixed it up that you thought your adamantium coils and Kevlar armor fiber made you a match for my skin and steel, but okay.
Yeah, so that's what he says. He's like, oh, you're still no match for me, whatever. And then back on this one, he's like, I gotta be careful because that'll cut my skin. Like, when he's thinking, even like right there,
I see that
doesn't even make sense. It literally does not make any sense from what you just said, like 4 pages ago.
Scott LaBelle.
Not consistent.
No. I'm going to take this to a convention, and I will just be like, do you see what you did here?
He'll be like, He'll be like, shut up, jerk, dork, nerd. And then you'll just...
It would actually totally be worth it to stand up and just be like, do you see what's wrong here?
Excuse me, Mr. LaBelle. What is wrong
in this issue of Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from June 1992.
In panel number 12, on page blah, you said X. And then on panel 26, on page this, it said this. Why is that inconsistent?
I will sit down and wait for my answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
I kind of really want to do that. So he basically,
then they like zap him with electrical things.
So Fury uses some sort of shield device to like.
It's a taser.
Basically tases him.
It's a shield taser.
And meanwhile, Cage is just beating the shit out of the temple.
Yeah, just ruining priceless historical site with his steel skin.
And basically, he's like, "Look, I can get you pardoned, and I can help you out."
Well, is that what Cage says, or what Fury?
No, that's what Fury says. Because Fury's like, "I can pull enough strings to get you pardoned." Or you can go with Cage. Back to your daughter.
Because basically they're saying, like, this guy needs help.
Yeah, he needs help.
So, like, you can go with Cage back to your daughter.
Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, in a minute. It's like, you can go with Cage back to your daughter, we'll get you a pardon, and it'll be fine. Or you can come with me, we'll get you help, but then you have to face a trial.
But he just told him he would get pardoned.
Right, that's what I don't understand. So if he goes with Cage, he gets pardoned.
I'll get you to because first he says he.
But if he goes with Nick Fury, he doesn't get pardoned. He has to go on trial. And I don't know why Fury can't get him a pardon both ways.
First of all, he offers him a pardon.
Yes. Only if he goes with Cage, though.
And... Well, okay, you're right.
But if he goes with Fury, he still gets help, but there's no pardon. He has to maybe even go to jail. But why he can't get him a pardon either way, I don't know.
Just give him a pardon, get him some mental help or something. So if you're already offering it, why don't you just give it to him?
So, and then he decides to go and really do his time with Fury. And Cage is like, but your daughter loves you. And he's like, oh, my daughter's wonderful. And I have blood on my hands.
I can't basically bring her into this.
Bring her into it. Tell her that Daddy will come home one day. So he wanders off to do that. So that's the end of that.
That's the end of the book.
But there is something very fun here. There is one of these bullpen things.
Marvel bullpens, and there's the April Cool-meter.
Cool-o-meter.
And
Cool-o-meter.
And it's basically, every couple months, they, every month around this time, they would just kind of have like a little thing about, what's cool and what's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
And just be random shit. So at the top of the Cool-meter is Blue Man Group. Which,
that's incorrect.
Well,
Blue Man
if you're
maybe that was they just came out.
It must have just started. They must have just broken Boston or something, because that's where it started.
Yeah, sure.
Was it? I think it was.
I have no idea.
I know that was really. I had an experience.
I remember it was really big at one point.
I remember I had an experience with the Blue Man Group once.
Is it because you had a bald head?
No.
Oh.
No, but I was downstairs. There was
what, at Emerson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was downstairs when I was in grad school, and for a minute there was like a comedy lounge thing that was around where Nick's Comedy Stop is, but it wasn't the same venue.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was it was some theater.
Yeah.
Where the Blue Man Group apparently performed.
Mm.
And somebody put together like a show there, and I was on it. And one of the comics, but before they started the show, they said, look, you may see members of the Blue Man Group walk by, and you're not supposed to acknowledge them at all.
Okay.
Right? You can't say anything. If you see them passing by, if you see anything, you have to act like you didn't see it.
What, dudes in blue paint?
Yeah, because they're in their full getup.
Okay.
And as they're on stage, one of the comics was Reggie Williams.
Oh shit.
He's up there doing a set, and he came late.
Oh, so he didn't know.
So as he's sitting up there doing a set, as they walk by, one of them walk by, he's in the middle of it, he goes, what the fuck is that? And everybody's like, Jesus Christ. The one guy that wasn't there just manages to go, holy.
How could you not, when members of the Blue Man Group walk through just a fucking regular hotel room bar?
Yeah.
Of course you're going to say something.
So that was
that's a great story.
That was as good as your skiing story, but
well, nobody fell down in your story.
But as we get down the list, in between Oliver Stone and Liquid TV, higher up towards the cool end of it,
oh, absolutely,
is Type O Negative.
Oh, that is right.
Now I have a question though, because the way it's spelled, it's not spelled like the band would spell it, because there's dashes in between the words. Do you think they're referring to...
I think they sometimes did spell it with those dashes, didn't they?
I don't recall.
I think at times they did.
I would think they're referring to the band, or they're referring to the blood type.
No, they're referring to the band.
But maybe they're referring... I don't know.
No, it's the band. R.I.P. Peter Steele.
Yeah, so, but that was a...
Which is so great, because Type O Negative is pretty great.
Yeah. So there you go. That's...
So good for them. What the thing that's not uncool is Murphy Brown as a mom is also on the is it the cool-o-meter, and it's towards the bottom.
Yes, the most uncool things are bottled tap water, CD long boxes. I'm not gonna argue there. That's kind of ridiculous. And fast food.
Yeah.
Maybe this was around the time when E. coli was hitting it big.
Oh, it's still hitting it big.
I know, it hasn't gone away. It's kind of like the Dean Martin of ass diseases.
Ask Chipotle how it's going.
It's making a comeback. No, because I remember at first
E. coli is still here.
I remember. It's like don't call it a comeback. Been here for years.
And it killed so many of your relatives.
Yeah, well, no, because I remember like when I first heard about E. coli, it was about Jack in the Box.
Yes, I remember that.
I remember there was a E. coli outbreak at a Jack in the Box, and it just was really sad. And
do you remember when that was it a salmonella or an E. coli for Odwalla juices?
Oh, well, I don't drink those things.
No, but when I was a kid, do you remember that? That was like a big fucking deal too because I think it killed some people.
Oh no! Well, no, I didn't know it was that. I didn't know about that.
I remember that.
But yeah. So well, that on that note.
Yeah. That uplifting note. Would you read the next issue?
If there's E. coli, if he fights a coli.
Yeah, if he fights for E. coli in a crotch-bearing outfit.
Yeah,
Does E. coli...
Eric, excuse me, it's Eric Coli. I'm here.
Is he hitting people in the face with his Eric Coli dick?
Yeah.
Or his ass on the front cover, which is like, I mean, it's got butt cheeks.
I know, it's really...
There's a crack.
It's intense.
There's a crack.
It's intense. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't. You know what? I wouldn't read it.
Yeah, fuck it. I wouldn't either.
I'm done.
No, don't care.
Don't care. It's Nick Fury.
And Nick Fury also has an annoying habit of instead of saying "your," he says "your."
Oh yeah, because he's like
spelled that way, which again pisses me off.
Hey, yous guys.
Yeah, fuck you. Just fucking.
I talk like I'm a constructions worker.
Yeah, I hate it.
Me and Ben's Grims, we look at women. We looks at the women's. And we go, hey, dames, why don't you come over and play with our Johnsons?
Dame. That's a good word.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for Nick Fury, Agent of the S.H.I.E.L.D. Not recommended past
what number?
Nick Fury, Agent of the S.H.I.E.L.D. number 36. Holy shit, this went on for... That means this book went on for like 3 years.
Ugh.
Good luck to you guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 36 from June 1992. All right, we'll be back for the next one. All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever, here on Sideshow Network. And this next one...
I bought this one today. I bought this because of the cover.
You bought this because of the cover. It does not disappoint.
No, it doesn't. Well, it kind of does, but then at the same time it doesn't.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It does disappoint greatly.
Yes.
But
it also does not
But it still delivers.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to explain, but we'll get into it.
Okay, so it's Green Lantern, Volume 1. No, technically Volume 2. Okay, so it's Green Lantern from... It's Hal Jordan. So,
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Green Lantern number 162 from March 1983.
Yep.
This is the month before my brother was born.
Really? Oh, yeah.
And, oh boy.
So the cover has Hal Jordan.
Well, I have a lot of questions about this cover.
Yeah, so there's Hal Jordan, and he's standing there with some chick, and he looks horrified because there looks like a ball monster man.
There's a bulbous man.
There's a bulbous man who's obviously some sort of monster, like making a horrified face and like floating.
Well, it looks like he's out. Okay, well he's out. So basically, they're in a spaceship.
Yes.
They're looking outside and into the space, and right outside the window, like literally outside the window, is a bulbous man who looks like with blonde hair, who looks like he's exploding, and he's like just looks horrible. And there's also
kind of looks like he's melting.
He looks like Total Recall.
Yeah.
Like he's about to explode. Yeah. Because he's in space and he's there's no air in space.
Yeah.
Also, too, I want to point out there are so many fucking planets.
Yeah.
Literally,
like right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume that would cause serious problems.
Yeah, but I mean...
Having that many planets close to each other, but I don't know. I'm not a space person.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, ask Neil deGrasse Tyson if it's possible.
Is it possible for this many planets to be next to each other?
A planet cluster such as that. I know you can have a star cluster.
Like, I get it. Like, we know you're in space, It doesn't...
Right?
I mean, you can put
just,
it, like...
throw as many planets as you can.
Like, these are little planets. Like, I understand asteroids.
Sure.
But these look like they're literally inhabitable planets.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the cover here, Yeah, so on the cover it says, death is moments away and Green Lantern can do nothing.
Yeah, what the hell?
Not a goddamn thing.
Useless, Hal.
He's
Useless.
He's garbage. So now we open with...
basically, it looks like Hal has declared himself ruler of a planet.
Yes.
Because he's, like, standing up on a rock with, like, his hand up in the air, and he's got, like, a hot chick who's wearing nothing but, like, a bathing suit and some boots, just, like, clinging to him.
Yeah.
And,
well, a bathing suit is a Green Lantern outfit, so...
Well, hers is a bathing suit.
Yeah, I thought you meant him. Yeah.
No, he's wearing his Green Lantern, but she's wearing a bathing suit and some boots.
Yeah. And also, too, this, apparently whatever universe he's in...
Yeah.
Has a lot of planets in the sky as well.
So many planets! Oh my god, all the planets.
So he's like waving goodbye to this ship. Apparently,
looks like he's just issuing a decree.
Yeah.
A royal decree that everyone will suck Hal Jordan's dick for exactly 5 minutes a day.
I'm King Cocksucker. So basically,
that'd be the worst. You're like gotta line up. You're like, I gotta suck the king's dick for 5 minutes. Royal decree.
It doesn't matter if he's hard or not.
Yeah, just stand in line.
He's not even gonna look at you. He's just gonna watch TV.
Oh, it's the worst.
When's your shift? I'm gonna miss the beginning of American Idol. Or whatever this planet's is. Yeah. Idol. Yeah.
This planet's Idol.
This planet's Idol.
It's alright, just a recap of what happened last week.
It's just American Idol, but they just...
It's not a big deal.
But it's just like it's tinted green because we're aliens.
But she looks very humanoid.
Yeah, it's a very humanoid, but obviously it's clearly a humanoid planet. It must be Krypton.
So apparently, like, Hal has saved these people from their dying planet and has given them this new planet.
Yeah, and Omega Men help, so who's
yeah, whatever.
So basically, he's like, "Oh, won't you want to go check out this place?" And
he's like got his hands on this chick all the time.
Wow.
He's like, this is it. And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna leave?" And he's like, "Oh no, I have some housekeeping things to attend to." And she's like, "Oh, you can stay longer with me." And she like kisses him on the cheek.
And he starts thinking about, he's like, oh, am I wrong about women?
Yes, Hal, you are.
Yes.
Just the answer is yes. Everything you think you know about women is wrong.
He's like, you dumb brick.
Because you assume that they're not human. She's not, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he's like, I think she's falling in love with me, but how do I feel about her? I'm like, I'm sure you've known her for an issue. You've known her for an issue. You are not in love. You just want to put your dick in her, and that's fine. But Jesus Christ, be honest.
These two couple panels seem like an Eddie Money song. Anyways, so she's like, look, I gotta go like charge my ring, and so this is actually my favorite panel here. She's like, how exciting, Hal? May I watch? And he's like, I'm afraid not. It's kind of personal.
I like how his eyes are also drawn where he's looking kind of shifty.
Yeah, like it's the way that it's drawn. Like he's not looking at her.
No, he's not
just like, hey, it's kind of personal.
And he's like, it's personal. So you're like, what is that a euphemism for?
He's like,
what exactly does he need to do? He needs to go shit his underwear off.
She's like, I understand. She's probably like, he's gonna stick his dick in his battery.
Something.
Like that's how it's charges.
Like American Pie. He's just gonna go fuck a pie. That's what's gonna happen. Right
American
now.
Lantern. Jason Biggs is Hal Jordan in American Lantern. Stifler is Sinestro.
Of course, Stifler is Sinestro.
Chris Klein is Gnort. and Eugene Levy as all the Guardians of the Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy are too. Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, all the Guardians.
Who cares? This movie's never getting made. It can have him in there. I don't give a shit. He can play Groot. I don't give a fuck.
All of them mashed together?
Yeah, like they're on each arm.
So it's like a Voltron. Of Guardians,
but it's voiced by Eugene Levy.
Okay, yeah. It has eyebrows.
And it has the eyebrows.
Big fucking thick eyebrows.
He's like Groot, but with just massive eyebrows.
It's like if Marty Scorsese trimmed his eyebrows, he would have Eugene Levy's eyebrows.
It's a good movie. I like this. I like where this went. Anyways, so he's like, oh, well, you know what? You can come, like, take like the tour with the ship with me, you know.
Oh, so this is Hal's ship?
Yeah, it's like you can see in the background here. There's it's a ship with a Green Lantern logo on it.
Okay, this is why does it go? So is this just the smaller version of the ship? Because it's like just a small one, and he's like, oh, next bus leaves in like 2 minutes, and then they like go up to a larger ship.
No, next bus leaves like he's just saying like, hey,
I know. That's what he means. Like they get into this like smaller lander, and they go up into where his bigger ship is.
No, this is the ship.
No, here.
You see that ship? That's where he's in.
Yes, but look how small it is.
Well, because they're standing like miles away.
Okay, so all right, so if
I don't know, it's drawn poorly.
It is drawn poorly. But here's my other question. So if it's not drawn poorly, he's like, you can take the 25-cent tour of my ship with me. How about it? I'd like that very much. So they go.
I'd like it very much.
So they go into the ship that's parked on the planet, and for some reason, Hal, even though he's staying on the planet for the next few days, sends the ship into space?
No, he doesn't send it into space. Because we'll get there. I'll explain. We'll get there. Just relax. I don't want to explain. I'm trying to explain.
I know. I'm just making a face. Continue.
So as this is happening, somebody
tiny ass fucking ship.
He's in goes into the tiny ship,
which apparently is like a fucking TARDIS because it's much bigger on the inside.
Well, I think because like you see this window, like they're outside, and like he's must be walking from far away. I don't know. It's drawn poorly, but
TARDIS ship.
He goes into this TARDIS and
he's holding hands with this chick.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "That's my bed. I mean, living space."
Yeah, he goes something like, "To my bed where I'm gonna fuck you." Yeah, I mean,
basically that's what's gonna happen.
Basically, he's trying to imply is that we are going to bang.
He's afraid to say bedroom, so he says living space because he's afraid to have sex with this woman in her bathing suit or something.
Well, because I think he's having his second thoughts about women's.
Yeah, he's like, am I wrong about women? Yes. He just realized he was wrong. So then, like they go to the Green Lantern room where the lantern should be. And this is my second favorite panel, when he realizes the lantern is gone.
Yes.
Like, his face, he's, like, all hunched over, and, like, you can see, like, his eyes are all big, and his jaws
You know who he looks like to me in this picture?
Who?
James Dean, the porn star.
Oh.
I don't know why, but he's just the way his face kind of looks here, he looks like James Dean.
He looks like a very concerned man, taking a very large surprise shit.
Oh yeah. A concern.
That's one of those like
he must have had those Tim Horner burritos.
He did. He just realized that the fart he thought he let out was not just fart.
Maybe he shit his pants off.
I think that's what just happened.
Oh, that's a great story. These are good. This is a good episode, guys. Anywho, so as he's getting into the ship, there's you see a shadow, and somebody's like, "Oh, here he comes!"
Yeah,
so somebody's in there. Obviously, that was tampering it, and he goes to look for the lantern, and it's gone. And he sees somebody running, and
it's a small child,
right? And so he's like, "Hey, come back here!" And he runs after him, and it's a boy.
Yeah,
he's one of the free minds. Apparently,
it's like that means.
I think it's somebody of this race. Of
humanoid, whatever she is,
women's or humanoids that he's like maybe the kids are like
kids.
They're like kids, but they're like psychics. He's like free minds. I'm hypothesizing here because I did not read the.
And I honestly don't care.
Yeah, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
If this kid is psychic, he's the worst psychic.
No, he sucks.
Yeah.
His name is Farax.
Yep.
Farax.
And he's like, "Did you take my lantern?"
PH''RAX.
Yeah. He's like
Farax.
He's like creepy, small, and this kid looks like a small Donald Trump.
He does actually. He does. Actually, kind of looks like him on the cover here too. Well, oh shit! I don't want to spoil it.
No.
Anyways.
So he's like, "Oh, hey, have you seen my lantern?" He's like, "No."
He's like, I thought your battery, your ship ran on solar power, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then as that's
I see.
As that's happening, the ship takes off.
Oh, okay, that makes much more sense. Because for some reason, I'm like, why did Hal, like, was he just like, I have to get you alone, I'm gonna be creepy, because of the implication. Like, basically, I'm always saying.
Well, let's put it this way.
Hal is Dennis.
Hal is essentially Dennis Reynolds.
Yes, he is.
He's always been Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny. Yes, he is 100%.
Right.
Like when they were when the guys from Always Sunny were putting together this their Always Sunny.
Yeah, they were like Hal Jordan.
He was like, okay, I could be Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
And this character's totally Hal Jordan, but like he lives on Earth.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a ring.
Right.
But everything else is true.
That's basically what it was, because it's that episode of Always Sunny where they like lure those women onto their yacht so those women will have sex with them because of the implication. That's exactly that's what I thought Hal was pulling over here. He was like, this woman will have sex with me because if she doesn't, things will go bad.
Well, they do go bad.
They do, but not for her.
Well, not really. No, she gets off pretty good. Anyway, so he's on the ship, and he's like, hey, ship.
I should say not for her yet. Because who knows what happens to her later.
So he's like, hey, ship, why don't you land? And the ship's like...
Nah.
The ship is like... The ship's computer goes...
The ship's like, nah, man.
The ship is literally like, nah, man, if I'm landing, it's to bury you. He is not... Yeah. It's not just like... Can't do that, Hal.
Yeah, no. He's just like, I hate you, Hal. I wish you were dead.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's really funny because he's like, where's my battery? And he's like, your battery's somewhere like in an airlock.
Yeah, he put it in an airlock at the very back of the ship or something.
And like, if you don't find it in like 30 minutes, I'm gonna shoot it out into space or because I don't want to be your slave no more.
Yeah, he doesn't want to like listen to Hal tell him what to do, and so then he like turns off the heat. Yeah,
he turns off like the climate control and it makes it really cold.
So they like run.
So they have to try to get out through like so they don't get trapped. In
all the doors are sliding down. Like,
yeah. So now we take real quick. So there's a quick aside. Apparently we're on Earth and some dude.
Just a dude.
I think it's Ben Carson. Or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Actually, I think it's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson wouldn't pick that up. He's too smart.
Yeah, he's too smart. So it's definitely Ben Carson. Yeah. So he's walking. Some guy's walking through the street,
and he sees like a crystal.
He sees a crystal. He picks it up, and he's like, "Oh, this crystal's big."
He's like, "Oh, what a nice crystal." The crystal's like, "Oh, you like how big I am? I'll get bigger."
And he like overtakes this guy's arm.
Yeah.
And as this is happening, the Guardians...
Who are total dicks, by the way.
Yeah, they suck.
The Guardians are awful. I don't understand why...
I don't understand why anybody takes them seriously.
Yeah, because they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. Honestly, I have never seen the Guardians do anything good.
No, they're just shitty.
They're constantly shitty. I'm just like...
They're just a group of shitty blue guys.
Yeah, I'm like...
Or shitty blue guys and women because they're like asexual.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't think they have a gender. They're just shit.
Genderless, shitty things.
Yeah. Shitty beings.
Unfortunately, that wasn't a good title of the of the book.
They can't just call
it Protector of Genderless Shitty Things.
Shitty beings.
Shitty beings.
So they're like, "Oh, hey, man, that crystal's bad news."
And they're like, "Well, Green Lantern, if Earth would have handled that, it's like, yeah, but like." We told Hal he can't come back, and they're like, well, what are we going to do?
They're like, probably nothing, because we actually don't care.
Crystal?
Yeah. So then we're back on the ship with Hal.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's running.
Yeah, they're run, and like Hal decides to check the computer, trying to check the schematics, and he's like, so I just want to make sure we're going the right way.
Because Hal's lost on his own ship. Good job, Hal.
So...
Because of
Okay, so I'm going to go through this.
Oh, you go right ahead.
So... So the little boy is like, hey, Mr. Lantern, I found a way out. And he's like, no, son, it's an airlock. And just as it's about to close, just as it closes, it sucks the kid out.
Uh-huh.
And he is this kid who we now find out is the bulbous man Donald Trump monster on the cover.
It is his child.
It is a young boy.
It's a boy.
Young boy.
Which makes it even worse.
And he's out here in the planet-filled void of space, and they're watching this kid...
As his eyes bulge out of his fucking head.
Bulge out of his head, and his veins, and everything is just ridiculous. And like the kid, she's like, they're watching it for literally 10 seconds because basically the human body can survive space in aerospace for about 10 seconds. Ordinarily, 1/6 of the minute flies by like nothing. And as they're watching for 10 seconds, they're watching this kid get sucked out and then
puff up like a ball,
and literally explode.
He explodes.
He explodes. We don't get a graphic full-on explosion, but we kind of get like
from a distance.
It's a tasteful child death. It was well done. They were like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't show him exploding to space meat.
Yeah, no. We shouldn't show it like splattering the window.
They opted not to show his young humanoid body stain the window that they're looking at.
But it should have, because he's right outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just killed a small child in this book.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember that this book just killed a small child for literally no reason.
Because you're looking at this and you're like, you would think this is like a guy.
I thought it was like an older...
Like a man.
Yeah, I thought it was...
That's why when I first saw the kid, I go, I'm going to flip ahead and see if this is... Oh, it is. All right. All right.
Yeah, because I thought it was like a monster man. Like outside and... I don't know. And it was not. It was a small child.
Oh, yeah. And now basically the computer comes back and he's like, ha, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, and he's
like, I just killed a child.
I just killed a child. What are you going to do about it, dipshit?
Yeah. And Hal's like, I got to find my battery.
And Hal's like, find my battery, and he punches the computer.
And then he walks into, like, I'm assuming with the dining hall.
Oh, no. Well, there's this part where he's walking through, and he's like, you know, because the woman's like, you know, because this woman's like, why'd you destroy it? What'd you do that for? He's like, sometimes it feels good.
She's like, it didn't really hurt the computer. He's like, no, but it made me feel better. I'd like to punch inanimate objects.
Like to punch inanimate objects. Oh, look at this. Here's a can of beans I'm going to punch. Speaking of beans.
Yes, because then they, like, walk into what I assume is, like, the Green Lantern dining hall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is where they keep all the
pies.
The pies.
Because all of a sudden Hal Jordan gets hit in the face with a pie.
Well, not really the pie. It could also be... It looks kind of like a pie, like...
I was assuming it was some sort of, like, chocolate pie.
Chocolate pie, you think?
Yeah.
You think they're serving chocolate pies?
Could be like a chocolate silk pie.
Who's baking those?
I'm assuming it's the computer, which is why he's so angry.
Yeah.
You know, he probably slaves over a hot stove all day, and Hal doesn't even care because he's too fucking busy being
probably not even eating all those pies.
No, because he's being like, this computer's like, I'm going to make this pie special for Hal, and Hal didn't even notice because he's a sleazeball. And he's not eating anything because he's trying to keep his girlish figure, just like Dennis Reynolds doesn't fucking eat anything because he doesn't want to gain any weight.
Again, yes. Is he doing butterflies?
Yes, he is.
Is he doing butterflies that you can't see?
Yes.
With his heels?
Yes. Constantly.
I love this idea. I really do like this concept. I think this is...
Hal Jordan is Dennis Reynolds.
Hal Jordan is Dennis Reynolds. Dennis Reynolds is Hal Jordan.
I honestly don't see how it could be any other way.
It's fantastic. If we're gonna do cast the DC universe and the It's Always Sunny canon, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Who would Charlie be?
Oh, he's probably like Booster Gold or Blue Beetle or somebody.
No. You think so? It has to be somebody like filthy. That's just like just gross. He'd be Guy Gardner. No, Guy Gardner. He's not as mean as Guy Gardner.
That's the thing. That's why I'm thinking he'd be like Blue Beetle or Booster Gold, who are just like goofy and dumb.
Yeah,
because Charlie's really dumb.
Yeah, he's really Well, Ted Kord's not dumb.
No,
Ted Kord's very smart.
Well, then maybe I don't know.
Who's a dumb, gross man in the DC universe? That's a good question because they haven't really put that out there. I mean,
that's a good question. I'm not sure. There might not be a Charlie. I think that Frank would be Oberon.
Yeah, Frank is pretty much Oberon.
That would be really good.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think if we're going to cast a JLI in this thing, so would D be Big Barda? Or would she be Wonder Woman? Or?
No, because D is a horrible person. So you have to try to find a female character who's a horrible person. And usually the female characters err on the side of, somewhat compassionate, decent human beings.
Yeah, they're not. There isn't.
It's hard to find a female hero that's like a good person, unless we're talking like one of the villains.
Yeah, I don't know. Maxima? No.
No,
she's pretty cool.
Maxima's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm having a hard time.
It's really hard because you can't be like, oh, she's like Mara. Well, not really, but. Because, but Dee is a terrible person, just like everybody else in that fucking show.
Who is the most awful woman in the DC universe? Talia?
Maybe. She's very scheming, but I feel like Dee's even more terrible than Talia.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just trying to put it out there. I don't know. I'm gonna think about this.
I know. I gotta think about it too because that's a really good question.
But Hal is Kevin or well, what's his face?
What?
Mac?
No. Dennis?
Dennis is
Hal. Frank is Oberon.
Okay.
So we got those two down.
Yeah, that's a good show. Actually, that's really all you need. I think if you're going to do that, I would just watch a show. I would just watch a show called Oberon with Frank Reynolds.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds as Oberon.
I really...
Because Oberon does seem like the kind of guy that does carry around a gun.
Yeah, oh yeah. And has guys for everything.
As a guy for everything,
He's fucking got a guy. Yeah, absolutely. I always I've decided to take that motto of Frank Reynolds where he says, like, I've only got a couple years left. I'm going to get real weird with it.
Yeah, Oberon's getting weird with it. He's into women's wrestling, so it makes sense.
I can't wait until I get to be older so that can be my motto.
It's your motto now.
It's my motto now, but it's going to get fucking weirder.
It's fucking weird.
Just really fucking weird as I get old. So just FYI.
I'm into it. I'm into it. I might join you.
We'll both be real fucking weird.
Hopefully we will be in Montana and we'll start growing things.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
I don't know what we're gonna grow.
It's gonna be like that episode of The Simpsons where he makes tobacco.
No, wait.
Do you remember that episode?
Barely.
So he grows tobacco and a tomato plant, and it comes together and makes tobacco, and it becomes like an addictive tomato that tastes like cigarette butts. Do you remember that episode?
No, I don't.
A long time ago.
Jesus Christ, it must have been one of those Simpsons I wasn't watching.
Yeah.
How about that? Oh, you learned something new.
Yeah. At least I think it's The Simpsons. It has to be.
I've never heard of it.
Google it. I don't have my phone with me.
I don't want to Google it.
Give me your phone.
No, I don't want to Google it.
Can I see your phone?
Well, we're in the middle of talking about things.
Continue to talk.
So as this is happening,
yeah.
So as this is happening, so literally though, as he's getting hit with food, like, could you see all the food coming at him now? You see, this is pretty great. So like a whole cake with one piece out of it. So how did have a piece of cake?
Yeah.
Looks like a can of beans, a steak, like an uncooked steak. Like, it looks like a whole plate of steak, like a whole steak dinner.
Yeah, see, I was right. Tobacco.
Okay, so all this food is being flung at them. There's so there's this cake. There's also like a plate with a stick of butter on it. Do you see that?
Wait, what? Oh.
Like just a whole stick of butter just being thrown at him.
Yeah.
And there's it's like all this. Yeah, actually, here's an actual pie.
There's a pie.
There's an actual unsmashed pie.
Yeah.
And then they're getting flung at by all sorts of things, and so they're trying to crawl the wave through. And it's funny because she's like, "Oh, stay down." This girl's name is Doreen.
Right.
I forgot to mention as if it matters.
No, it doesn't.
Doreen.
Yeah.
Dorine.
Yes.
So Doreen. So he's like, stay down, or unless you want a 12-course funeral. Which, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty funny.
That is funny, but I don't think a pie could kill you.
Well, I mean, it
hit him in the face and it was fine, but then he gets hit by a table, and that's a little bit more concerning.
Yeah,
because it catches him right in the midsection, and then he's like, okay, we gotta stay down.
I'm surprised he doesn't die like Houdini did, because that's what killed Houdini.
A table to the midsection?
He walked into a table really hard, and that's what killed him.
That's not what killed Houdini?
Yes, it was!
No way, really?
That's what's been reported.
He walked into a table really hard.
He walked into the corner of a table really hard, and he tore his insides up.
His spleen?
He's like, something happened to his body inside, and then he died shortly later.
that's the most humiliating way to go.
Yeah, especially if you're Houdini. So this is what happens to Hal. Anyway, okay, so we're almost done here. So basically, are you looking that up?
Yeah, no, I'm looking up tobacco.
Oh,
which, if you remember, is the episode where Homer challenges everybody to a duel with his glove.
No,
remember when he's like, duel,
I don't remember this episode at all. I believe you. You don't need to look it up.
No, I was just gonna say. Inspired by the Zorro movie, Homer begins slapping people with a glove and challenging them to duels. However, when a real Southern gentleman accepts Homer's request for a duel, the Simpsons run off to an old farm Homer lived Homer lived in with his parents and breed a dangerously addictive but successful tomato-tobacco hybrid called Tobacco. When they're just about to gain $150 million from the hybrid, dangerously addicted animals ruin their plan.
Oh. Well, sounds like it's
Don't you remember him, like, going to the front of the line in a movie being like, duel, who offended, and, like, smacking everybody with a glove?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, anyway, continue.
Okay, so so they get out of there, and basically it just ends.
Oh, that's right.
The story just ends because the girl's like, she's like, oh, that was really horrible. And he's like, was it? Funny, I was wondering why it wasn't worse. Because, it's just food.
Yeah.
It's just, like, sandwiches being thrown at him. So,
yeah.
Who cares? He's kind of right. He's like, it should be worse. Like it's the computer would want to kill me. So now, the story just ends.
Which is really upsetting.
It's really disappointing. And then we get some backup stories about the Green Lantern Corpse.
Yeah, there's, like, some story about, I don't know, a girl who has, like, a starfish face.
Yeah, her name is Leanna.
Yeah, I don't know what's her. Hey,
she looks like she looks like. She looks like when
if Scarlet Witch's mask was a face.
Yeah,
yeah,
but also like it looks like when they're trying to imagine like when you're like seeing like hot like,
aliens.
If you're watching like a porno and it's in space and you're like, hey, here's a sexy alien.
Yeah, she's obviously super hot, like, but she just has like this weird, like, horn head thing.
Yeah, she has a starfish face.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So there's, like, a story about her and how she, like, basically fucks up and kills an entire society.
Well, kills an entire society because she's, like...
Because they can't stop fighting.
They can't stop fighting, and, like, something about their magnetic fields, like, she basically, like, ruins their way of life, and, like, she saves them, but then she basically, like, since she meddled, and all this terrible stuff happens, and... she's unable to, basically the Guardians, being assholes again, or like give us your ring.
Yeah.
And then
there's another story, which this one is weird because this one is like set on some sort of like medieval planet.
Yeah.
Where there's like the master of the castle has the ring, and then there's like this little boy, like the houseboy, who takes the ring and somehow is able to wield it, which that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
because that shouldn't be. And then like a monster Viking dog man comes to the door and tries to eat the kid.
Yeah,
who's then saved by the big Green Lantern.
But I think he was just playing the role.
Like, that's what I couldn't figure out. Was
either that or he's holding the head?
I thought he was holding the head.
He's holding Monster's head. And... yeah.
I like the idea that... because it has a really creepy pedophilia vibe to it,
Oh,
too.
totally does.
He's just like, oh, master, I will do anything for the master. And it's like this little boy. And then he just, like, stands there, like, holding this either mask or head. And stares at this boy while he cleans, and it's just weird. It's just fucking weird. So I got really disappointed that I didn't get to see more of the exploding kid story.
Yeah, I did. Here's the thing. So that technically is the end of Green Lantern number 162 from March 1983. I would absolutely read the next issue of this book.
Yeah, me too.
I need to know what happens on this ship.
Yeah.
I need to know if more kids get exploded. It's also kind of awful about this picture on the cover here of this poor kid.
It's this... he looks like a garbage pail kid?
Yeah. Well, there's that. That's a good reference. But also, he has an adorably red nose. Like
he really does. Like he's just been out in the cold.
Like he's just like, oh, I got a new sniffle.
Snow.
But he's also, just literally bursting at the seams. The child that literally exploded.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he didn't walk really fast into a table.
Yes, he did. That's what happened.
No. Houdini died of a ruptured appendix.
Because he walked into a table.
No, he didn't walk into a goddamn
That's not documented, but in the movies, it's been documented. Look, for all the things that I'm probably wrong about, please email us at Shawn at SideshowNetwork.tv if you want to correct me. Also, find me on Twitter at AngryHeroShawn, SHAWN. My Instagram is the same, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
And that's it for this week. This was a good show because we had some doozies of books. So
we did,
and we're constantly we got some more stuff. So we're in good shape here. And thanks for listening. And please, SideshowNetwork.tv. Check out the shows. Check out all of our stuff that's there. I am one of the producers of the network. Full disclosure. So I encourage you to check it out. Please rate and subscribe our show on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Really helps us. Take a moment, rate, say we're awesome. We've had some really cool reviews, and we really appreciate those. So we will be back next week. Thanks for listening, folks.
Bye.